All right, I'm Dbot. Thanks again for following this and liking and subscribing to my free flow method and system of learning how to make music with utilizing your guitar. And so, again, 2 fingers, 2 frets, 2 forms, 2 focuses that will help you play freely. And when you incorporate them up and down the neck, you mix and match, you pick out the individual notes, but then when you start moving it up and down the neck, it's going to just open up a world of creativity. So what I want to do is I'm going to show you how these simple little breakdowns and complicated chords are going to show you how I'm going to show you just in the chord I showed you earlier, for example, G, which is this. I'm going to show you how these chords are, as complicated as they look, they're all incorporating this breakdown method of what I'm talking to you about. Let me show you the C chord, for example. The C chord comprises of that string. Look at these 2 strings already. These 2 strings are what? Part of that pattern. So for the sake of keeping it simple, I'm already in the middle of the pattern, just in the formation of that C chord. Okay? Now this is the traditional way that they teach you. I'm not trying to teach you a traditional way of playing guitar. I'm trying to show you a way to make music so that you can learn guitar in the process by continually feeding that creativity with easy moves, an easy framework of reference point from which to build your home base of musical operations, if you will, and build a creative legacy that you can move forward with. So look in this, just in this traditional way of teaching, and these are actual chords, so you'll have to learn these at some point, but I'm going to show you how easy it is that you can always remember chords. Look how it's breaking down and incorporating this system already. These 2 fingers are already incorporated. It has to be playing all these strings, right? See that? Watch how I know where I'm going to go next. So again, just traditional chords, they are comprised of smaller parts, right? And so instead of looking at chords as these crazy moves of fingers, look at them as the individual. That's what I'm showing you, is they're the individual. Look, I want you to notice in chords, I want you to notice and look for what I'm talking about. Look for the individual 2 parts or 2 finger forms that I showed you in these chord structures. Look how they repeat themselves. Here's these in the G chord, in the C chord, here it is here, in the D chord. Well, we didn't really talk about the lower strings where it changes the tuning, so you gotta look at things a little bit differently, but we'll get to that. Okay? Now, again, for this lesson here, I want to show you, just using these, everything I just showed, everything I just taught you, not even utilizing the full potential of this beautiful instrument known as a guitar. I'm showing you that even with only a few of the strings, you can make music. It's all about letting the music flow out of you. And for me, again, it's music has always been comprised of melody at its core. So and I don't play other people's music to the best of my ability. I only play my own. It's just because I feel like for me to give honor and homage to my favorite musicians and artists and bands growing up is to not touch their music. Let it be as it is. There's so much creativity yet to be had. That's just my own take on it. I give credit and kudos to those who do play other people's music. I just don't. And so for me to keep up with the own creativity that was going on inside my head, I had to come up with a system and a method that worked very quickly and efficiently and easily repeatable, replicatable, and easy to remember and easy to execute. And that's where this system came into play for myself. So again, 2 fingers, 2 fret, 2 forms, 2 focuses that'll build your home base. But I want to incorporate all of that into, again, only using a few of the strings of the guitar, not even the full 6 strings. I'm going to only use 4 strings, playing the 2 strings at a time that I happen to be plucking down on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix and match. I'm going to do a couple of different things. Okay. First, I'm going to show you, I'm just going to play the typical chords within the sequence. Then I'm going to alternate and navigate how I feel within that repeatable 4-move sequence. And then I'm also going to change up dynamic with my 2 fingers. Again, only playing what I'm pressing down on. And when you hear that little, it's because I'm doing a little fancy thing. I'm actually opening the strings. Open means I'm not pressing down on them anymore. And that's also something you can do just to open up that creativity. I didn't even get into that. But by letting up on the strings, only the strings you're plucking down on, but you're lifting up those 2 fingers momentarily and giving it a whole new set of tonal range capability, right? So again, with only doing this 4 sequence pattern and only moving around in it, I'm going to add more layers of creativity by moving up 1 set of strings, up, each finger moves up, same pattern. Then I'm going to incorporate more creativity by moving up to the next set of strings, only using these top 4 strings. Now I'm going to mix around and mix and match. That's when we are going up and down with all these different forms, or these 2 forms, but in all these different positions now within this range of 4 moves that you can make within the sequence. Of creativity by being able to pick out the individual notes. Try to find a melody. Think of a melody. What rings true to you? It's all about the melody. Let the melody come out of you. When you hear it, and don't be too quick to rush past the single beauty of the beauty and the depth of a single note. Listen to this note. I'm just going to play 1 note, 1 string, 1 note. Let me play a different note. Try this one. Listen to that. Hear that? Why rush past that? There's a beautiful beauty in that note. But watch when I mix and match and play the individual notes within these small little chords. Layers of creativity, letting that musical expression come out of you by picking out the individual notes. But then watch what happens when you start moving that sequence up and down the neck. Again, you can change it up. It doesn't have to be dun 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 dun. It can be whatever you want. Watch when I move it up. Now watch when I mix them all together, individual notes, mix and match, different same sequence, but just individual notes, mix and match, and that's going to be in the next one. Like and subscribe to my page. This is the Free Flow System. I'm D-Buck, and thanks for watching. Move on to the next.